Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, I'm playing the Tier 9 German battleship Pommern. This is a premium. I think it's very fun to play. I generally, to be honest, use this in co-ops for running missions, especially when work is really busy, and it has been here lately. So when this game launched, I intended to be in a co-op game so I could work on some missions. This was played fairly late at night, and at the end of the you can see my comment there. At the end of the day, I thought, well, I could at least work on a mission and try to get something. And as I selected the ship and I was getting ready to switch to co-op, and then Mrs. Ronan asked me for some help with something, and I got back here and I just pushed play, and I forgot that I hadn't changed to co-op. So I was a little bit surprised that I found myself in a random game, but you roll with the punches. That's just life. So I think I probably worried my team considerably when I made that comment initially. I know how I would feel if I saw that. I would think, oh no, it's a co-op only player who's here, mistakenly. And if you only play co-op, playing against players is quite a different experience, and I think we all know that. So I'm sure they were worried. But I do have a fair amount of. You can see I'm explaining to the team there, hoping to alleviate their concerns. I do have a fair amount of experience playing in randoms, etc. So I'm not entirely without experience. But since this is set up for secondaries, because I've been using it in co-op, and I have to admit, because the whole Deadeye thing just really turns me off, I just kind of said, no, I'm not doing that. I think it's a stupid addition to the game, and so I haven't done it. So the fact is, at this point, I have maybe half a dozen ships that I've set up the captains on, and that's all I've been playing, and those are primarily destroyers. And the reason I'm doing that is because I figure while we're waiting for the fallout to settle down with regards to the recent commander skills changes, I'll just bide my time. I'll work on picking up some elite commander XP, work on getting some more 21-point commanders. Just telling our Riga here, hey, check your line. It's easier for you to turn than me. Not much. Riga's not exactly what I'd call a maneuverable ship. But it looked to me like the Sims and the Seattle were probably going to push for this flank, and I said, well, okay, I'm a secondary build, but you can see my on the minimap, my secondaries go out to 11.4 kilometers, so I'm already in range if they come around that corner. And now the Cossack's going to do the same thing. Yeah, no big deal. I can just kind of shove him out of the way. Yeah, Seattle's coming this way, so I'm going to be able to give him a nasty surprise. And you can see I'm traveling at over 30 knots. So even if I get detected and he slows and turns, etc., he's probably not going to have enough time to get away. Now, you can see already our Florida's taken about a third of his hit points in damage. Alaska about, well, a little over half. Our Helena got banged up, our Amalfi got banged up. Not what I call a great start. And here I am in a ship set up for secondaries. But I do catch the Seattle. Just waiting for his angle to flatten out a little bit more. Put the shells in the air. And that's what I was hoping for. Well, I mean, if I'm honest, I was hoping to dev strike him, but I'll take that. Now I'll just angle up, slow down. You can see where the Sims is at. So I just have to avoid torpedoes. As long as I don't push forward too far, I can do that. I threw those torpedoes out there in case the Sims decides to rush me. Unlikely, but possible. And since I'm going to sit here for a minute, why not? They'll be reloaded soon enough. Didn't do as well that second go around. I think I should have waited a little bit longer to see if his angle flattened out, and it did. But it's given secondaries a chance to work. So, we did secure the Alpha cap, we did secure the Bravo cap, enemy team secured Charlie. The Sims is contesting. The Alpha cap, there Leon and Miyoko are both pushing in, supported by Lepanto. This is going to be all she wrote for the Seattle. And I'm going to go ahead and push in here and try to corner the Sims.
Gegnerischer Kreuzer versenkt.
Now, the way that the Sims is angled, I'm really not too worried about torpedoes. Sims is super maneuverable, maybe the most maneuverable ship in the game. And it's super fun to play as a DD guy. I love playing that ship. But, like every DD that you've probably become familiar with, there's no way it's going to be able to withstand battleship shells at this range, and I've loaded HE. So between the secondaries, my HE, the fact there's a Cossack on the other side, he's not long for this world. Secondaries are going. 2 fires, not a whole lot of damage. I'm going to angle out here. I don't want to eat torpedoes. Throw some preemptive torps out there, and you can see how fast he got moving and how fast he was able to turn. I'm hoping some of those red torpedoes that I'm looking at were his, and that he's waiting on his to reload. In the meantime, he got blapped. Enemy Leon is falling back. We don't have anybody in the cap. He's easy to hit. So we'll keep the cap reset. Should be able to hang on to it. I do start a fire, and I'm switching back to AP. I'm already thinking about what I've got to do next. He's going to be taking plenty of fire already. Between our Helena, Cossack, and Florida, and then now the Riga has moved into position to be able to get shells on him. I'll get one more shot off here, and then I'm going to try and get around these islands. He does finish off our Riga. Almost got him, but Helena manages to make the final shot. Shikaku has an eye to dropping me. That's fine. I'll shoot down a few planes. He'll drop with whatever's left. Yep, fair and balanced. CV gameplay. Gotta love it. Okay, so big picture, we're down 4 ships, they're down 5 ships. We've got 2 caps, they've only got 1. They just lost their Bismarck. We now have a significant advantage. You can tell on the timer there, just below the very top of the screen. It says 640, 1953. That's a mod that tells you, if nothing else changes, if the game were to just stop right now and the timer allowed to run out, that's how long it would take for our team to win versus how long it would take for their team to win, based on cap points. So, that being the case, it's not hard to see that we're in a pretty good position here now. That you can see that number changed quite a bit. Now it's 1230, 1918. Why? Well, that's because they are in the Bravo cap. And I don't know whether I aimed really badly there, or if that's the bug that you've probably heard people talking about, where you aim at where you want the shells to go and they fall short. Either way, that was disappointing. We do lose our Fiji to the enemy rune. And I'm going to try this again. Now, rune is angled into me pretty well here, and pushing in farther, closer to the island, making it, well, impossible to land shells on him at this point. Shikaku is coming after me again. I'll just shoot down some more planes. I'm really kind of hoping to see Lepanto nose south a little bit. Well, I've got 99 secondary hits. Get one more, then I get a nice secondary hit buff. Amalfi's going to come racing out of here. And I'll just be there to greet him. Secondary, as you can see, the speed up. 15% buff there. Yeah, that wasn't as good as I'd hoped. He did turn an angle there at the end, but okay, so now I've got a potential torpedo threat here from Amalfi, and if I get close enough from Rune. Rune is just showing flat broadside, and so I've got to decide who am I more concerned with. The Amalfi is, well, he's gone now, so I don't have to worry about him at all. I don't know about you, but I was really disappointed in that. In the chat box, you can see our Massachusetts is pointing out to our CV that hey, we don't really have any idea where their DD's at. It might be a really good idea for you to move. Now, all of this attention from the enemy CV has me pretty well convinced that he must be around here on this side somewhere. Another disappointing volley. Really hope to finish off the rune there. Secondaries are still working, but somebody else will probably get him. We'll see. He's going to be in range for a long time for my secondaries. Now I'm starting to get a little bit of attention from some of these other ships. Ponto's flattening out his angle a little bit to me. Maybe I can get a good shot off here. Ah, that's disappointing. Yeah, I'm going to let the fire burn. I'm letting the fire burn because with CV paying so much attention to me, I want to make sure I save my repair. As was pointed out earlier, we don't really know where the enemy DD is. So if I eat an Asashio Torp, besides losing half my hit points with one torpedo, I'll need to be able to repair. I'll just flood out. Fire damage is repairable, so I'm not too worried about it. And I've got another heal coming up in 33 seconds. Now there, Lepanto has been on a tear. He's doing pretty well. Okay, so there's the Asashio. You can see I instantly put my secondaries on him. I'm trying to change the angle of my ship to be able to get the secondaries to start firing. There are some torps. I'm 30 seconds away from my hydro. And it just got a lot more tense. Knowing that the CV is on this side and having the attention of the Shores, Lepanto, and the Asashio as well as the CV. My head has to be on a swivel here. And I'm gonna... There's the hydro back up. I put that shot out there on the cruiser, but he's already gone. And you can see the Florida is just... he's just kind of trailing along behind me. I was really hoping he would move away from me. And you see it all the time. A lot of, especially newer players or players that just have never studied the game or tactics in general. In this game, you know, when you read about naval history, they talk about crossing the T, and you've got line formations, and then everybody crosses the T, and you get all your guns off. Well, in this game, that doesn't work. Okay, so there's the CV. So in this game, the better bet is to spread your battleships out. And the goal there is to get the target to angle toward one or the other, which can then create a broadside opportunity for whoever they are not angled against. Now, since we can see the Shikaku, that's going to be my focus. I want to get in secondary range. I want to keep guns working on him. But as you can see, in order to do that, I'm going to take a beating from Lepanto. Now, unless I want to turn around and follow the line of Florida, I'm going to be showing some side to the Lepanto. My hope is that I can finish Shikaku before I get sunk myself. I've got planes coming in. I've got shells from the Lepanto. And I've got a DD throwing torpedoes out there. Don't really have a choice but to slow down here. If I get hit by one of those torpedoes, I'm out of the game. So the Shikaku, he's gone. There's no way he survives this. The gun swung around, get the secondaries, the AA on that side to do its work. Just a tiny bit of damage there. Lepanto's almost dead. This game's in the bag. You can tell by the score, it's almost over. I hope you enjoyed the game. Oh, that was close. It was a really fun one to play. Thanks a lot for spending some time with me. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.